you were one of those guys, if I had trouble, you'd be a guy I would come to. Used to be my brother. When I lost my brother, it became you. You were my number 2 guy, so now you're number 1 guy. So if I needed something, if I had a problem, you were the guy I would come to, because I know you would get it figured out for me and help me out.
I'm just going to repeat for anyone who gets to watch this how you and I met. First grade, first day of school. I'm sitting in this spot, you're sitting next to me. I'm talking, naturally, to the kid next to me. And the teacher says, okay, everyone stop talking, we're going to do something. I didn't stop talking. All of a sudden I see Randy's hand go up in the air. Teacher, this little boy's talking right here. You remember, she walked over, grabbed me by the collar, drugged me out in the hall, made me face the wall, and I wet my pants. This is how I met Dr. Stevens, my lifelong best friend.
Dr. Stevens, I thank you, first and foremost. I'm fortunate in my career in rural health to have learned from the best. Wise men from Dr. Buechler, Dr. Turner, and yourselves. And it's been a true privilege, and it continues to be. And thank you for always being the educator, for always sharing the knowledge. I appreciate, read, share even. So I'm taking a cue from you, many of the articles that you shared with us. And it never ceases to amaze me that regardless of what the topic, how far-fetched or new or cutting edge or crazy for some cases a discussion would be or project would be, a few minutes later there's always an article that showed up on my desk. So thank you for that.
Boxing skills were phenomenal. We couldn't hold a stick to you when we put the gloves on. It's too bad you never grew to be taller than 5 foot. You might have been a basketball player.
I try so hard to be like you. You can find the good in no matter who that person is, whether they're struggling with medical issues or they're struggling with substance issues, or it's a medical provider that's struggling with emotional issues. You're there for those people, you connect them with help, and you just are a good friend to everybody that is around and that asks for your help.
You got your gratitude, your graciousness, and your kindness from your parents. I know that because I spent several days at your house when things were not well at my house and was accepted well worthwhile, and I appreciate that.
Randy's a good doc, but his good doc comes from being his caring for the patient, how his empathy, his ability to connect with somebody on a personal level, which then carries over into professional level, and so people absolutely trust him. You want to trust your doctor. I think what patients over the years have felt with him, I just trust him. Whatever he says, I'm going to do.
We've been together for 60 years, and so our story goes way back, but it doesn't seem like anything has changed from our childhood. You was the glue that held everything together. You took care of every problem.
I think I've known you for quite some time now, and it's very few people that have come into my life across my professional journey that form my constellation of those that I seek to emulate. You are one of those shining stars in my constellation, and I cannot thank you enough for all the guidance, the support, and the influence that you have provided upon me, not only personally, but also in my professional endeavors.
I've seen him step into leadership positions. He's absolutely a patient advocate. He was our program director for several years, did an outstanding job in that role. But he's also not forgotten the community, and so he's managed somehow to keep his hands in all of those things, and he does it with such efficiency and grace. He's hard to beat.
When we were in Vietnam, I used to look forward to getting to the rear and getting to a hospital so I could call you down there. And we talked 2 or 3 times, I think.
Always appreciate your counsel on never forgetting why we do what we do, whether it's a learner, whether it's a community member, whether it's somebody who's struggling with addiction or who doesn't have access to services, not losing track of what we're trying to do. And that always helps us look forward and build, hopefully, initiatives the right way.
you always was a veteran proponent, so the word, to encourage people to use their VA benefits. And I have sent my application in for VA assistance, and they've called me back and they're wanting to schedule an appointment for me. And I know that was one of the things that you always pushed me for, you and Dave and Tom. And so I've got that started, and I told them as soon as the new year came around and they opened up the new clinic, I would be getting hold of them for my first appointment.
Randy and I have different political views. We just flat do. But at the same time, we've always been able to align ourselves with a goal. What's our goal? And right now it might be with the residency. It might be with something with the medical staff. Randy's been highly involved with medical staff issues, most of it behind the scenes. And we've always found a way, if we set the goal, how do we get to the goal together and, I don't know, compromise?
And remember, you're my brother. God bless you and I love you. Amen.